ورجعنا عند ماريانا. The big day, the big opening. Salam Bakery, manakish and Lebanese goodness is now open. يلا من برا قبل ما نعتم. Salam, the big place, Port Melbourne, is officially open. حلم عم يتحقق.
ايه والله فكرة بلشت بسيارة أنا وأنطونيو، وهلأ صارت حقيقة. اليوم عم نعمل لونش لسلام، عازمين كل الميديا الأسترالية تقريباً وكل أصحابنا القراب. اليوم
بلشت قصتك أنت كوردون بلو، عم نحكي عن غير different levels. شو مرة فكرتي يصير عندك فرن منقيش؟
أبداً. يعني ما تخيلت حالي هنيك مرة كنت عم أعمل منقوشة صرت على فرانة. بس it's our tradition and we should be proud of. We'll try and show it in the best way we can do. So that's how it came out here.
فرن منقيش بس على طريقتك.
شو عملت فيه؟ عملت فيه هو إنه بدي فش خلقي أنا بالعجينة اللي كنت أكلها أنا وصغيرة. عبالي كان ملغز بالزعتر مثل ما كانت ستي تبعت لي مع الزعترات. هيك بلشت الفكرة وحسناها أكيد مع الإكسبرتيز الموجودة معنا بالعجينة، كيف نعملها فريش وطازة وما تتعذب وما بعرف شو. هيك بلشت. لحم بعجين، بدي لحم بعجين مثل لحم بعجين بلبنان بناكلهم بأرقدوا، عرفت؟ مشان هيك بلشنا سلام والحمد لله يعني it's going well.
I'm coming all the way from Lebanon, stop in Dubai. Now I live in Dubai, but proudly Lebanese. And going 15-hour flight just to discover a new manouche and making sure that this manouche is close to home and gives the real flavors of home and shows our real traditions is something, well, okay, I didn't know what to expect. And the minute I landed this morning, had a bite and stopped, wait, it's as good and even better than the ones we have at home. Mariana has managed to reach a point where we have an Italian know-how, a Lebanese feel, a Lebanese essence, culture with European standards of a manouche that is out of this world, and it's worth me traveling 15 hours to come here, and I can't express how happy I am to be at the opening and launch of what showcases Lebanon, the true flavors of Lebanon, and support for the culture and true image of who we are.
How important is that right now, especially with what's going on in the world? How important is it to get back to that culture and be able to share, these incredible Lebanese traditions and meals with the people of Victoria?
The world is in a bad shape. The world is in a bad shape, and lots of things are happening all across. And especially now that Lebanon is having lots of issues and the war and everything that's happening in between. So our aim and our true work should be to promote the good side of Lebanon and show the world who we are, who we truly are. And that lots of things start in our country, of which good food, alphabet, business, discoveries, back to definitions. I'm not going to talk about history, but we are probably the center of the world, the old world, where everything started. Good people, simple people that do not want war and do not know how to do war. And when we say Mediterranean diet is the real flavors and diet of the real things one should eat. So our duty today is to show the world the good side of who we are, despite all the problems, and keep that smile and positivity. So yes, Salam, very proudly Lebanese bakery here and there. Lebanese with a French touch because French people passed by us.
And a huge influence from Cordon Bleu where Mariana went and studied as well.
Yes. And this is where it comes. So the manouche is a Lebanese street food, staple street food, very cheap, I would say. Anyone can eat a manouche at least once a day or twice a day.
I learned how to make it this morning, so that was great.
Voila. And then Mariana came in and said, okay, wait, that manouche, let's elevate it to someone else. Let's put it on the international standards of what a pizza is. Bravo. And she made it. Yes, she did.
So what's next for you after being in Melbourne and tasting? What are you most looking forward to besides being here? What's like your top tip for dinner in Melbourne?
I'm going to tell you something. This is my 7th time in Australia. I'm in love. This is my 7th time. Each time I'm staying for a month or two.
Stop for a sec.
Yeah.
Start that sentence again.
Yep. Let me tell you something. This is my 7th time in Australia, and every time I stay here for 4 weeks to 6 weeks. I love the country. I love the different nationalities this country hosts. I love the culture, the food, etc. And especially the Lebanese community who have been here for the last 50 or 60 years, protecting their heritage, their language, their culture, and good food. With Australia having great produce, great flour, great meat, great vegetables, everything that is created around here has a different flavor and elevation. And this is what I feel every time. So I come here, eat, and say, okay, wait, whoa, produce, meat, okay.
Taste the flavor.
Yes. So this time is going to be a short one. 1 week in Melbourne, 1 week in Sydney. Touring around, discovering, meeting, connecting, eating, tasting, spreading happiness, and sharing joy with the world on my YouTube channels. And I hope it's going to be as successful as I dream it to be. عروس طبولة.
My name is Sarah Marie Cameron. I am a Melbourne-based comedian and presenter, friend of Mariana, and it is my absolute pleasure to be here as we officially open Salam. Now, for those who are here, friends and family, you've probably stepped into this building before under a different name, Brûlée, and don't you worry. Brûlée has not left, well, it's left this building, but it's just gone a little bit further down Bay Street. So if you love all things Brûlée, that is okay, because it still exists. But today, we welcome in a new era of Salam. Relaunching this space and redesigning the food, paying homage to Mariana's Lebanese heritage, and enjoying the fine creations of French and Lebanese artisan right here in Port Melbourne, which I think deserves a round of applause for Mariana. Now, speaking of a round of applause, I think you should all pat yourselves on the back, because I think a lot of people had to use flippers to get here today. A woo from anybody or a cheer. Who came in from the west? Anyone else? Yes? Yeah, I aquaplaned here over the west gate. My Toyota Corolla, well, actually not mine, it's actually the rental company, so if anything happened, I mean, that's okay. It's not my fault, but geez, it was a tough time getting in here. So just for you being here and deciding to make it when this weather isn't exactly what we had hoped it would be is amazing, because you could have chosen to stay home. You could have chosen to stay on the couch and say it's too hard to get here, because it really was tough conditions there. And so it is amazing and a testament to Mariana and all of her friends and family for everybody to come out here, regardless of the rain, hail and shine, all of which we have experienced in the last half an hour. But the great thing is, after all of that rain is a rainbow, and how apt after opening a brand new restaurant, which is Salam. So it is so wonderful to have you here. And we've got a bunch of incredible people who have made their way and get to talk about their connection to Salam and the food. One person who we are unbelievably blessed to have here, Anthony Rahayel. Now, he has such an incredible following online. I'm sure there are plenty of people who are in this room right now who are familiar with his fantastic work. Yes, there we go. Somebody who's passionate about food. I mean, aren't we all, to be perfectly honest? I mean, I am. I'm celiac and I'm still here, so that says a lot about the food. I also have a lot of other intolerances. No onion, no garlic. Funnily enough, also the website that you can check out from Anthony as well. Somebody who is a dental surgeon, but the great thing about food is it unites people. Food brings people together. It doesn't matter what else you do in this life. Food is our connector. And wine. Ah! If that is your thing, absolutely, sir. You seem to be empty right now. Where's your wine? Where's your connector? There we go. I'll tell you a little bit more about Anthony. So as I said, a dental surgeon, professional photographer, an advocate for great food, and an international TV host. As I said, the founder of Lebanon's first hospitality blog, No Garlic, No Onion, and that was all the way back in 2012 as well, an absolute pioneer, and has 500,000 followers on Instagram and TikTok, 1.8 million subscribers on YouTube, and has won multiple awards as a food blogger. So I think it is enough from me, and I ask everybody to please put their hands together now for Anthony Rahayel.
Hello, everyone. Today is not about me, actually, it's about Mariana. So we're gonna go all in and tell you about why you're here, what we're doing here, and how important this amazing project is. For the last 12 years, as you may have heard, I've been touring around Lebanon with our 1,200 villages and the world, especially Lebanon, to show the world who we are, who we truly are. 7,000 years of history, we exported to the world lots of things, and mainly not war, never war. We have never done war with anyone, and this is something I like to remind people of. We have exported the alphabet, we have exported good food, we have exported wood, we have exported businesses, we have exported the first law school, and so on and so forth. And one of the most important things we have also exported is good food. So part of the center of the world, let's prove that part. We are at the center of the world. On part of the Mediterranean diet, we have more than 400 plates in our diet, in our menu. 200 plates on the festive menu, so meza, hummus, etc. And another 200 few people know about that we eat and enjoy at home. So 400 plates, and no cuisine on earth has that. Fortunately or unfortunately, until probably a couple of years ago, we never had any award, not one, because Lebanese food is so enjoyable, colorful, shareable, but does not have that class and finesse to be served in 3-star Michelin restaurants or be part of the top 50 awards or have best chefs, etc. Yes, we have the greatest food ever, but we have never been on the international list because we do not have that concept of having that plate and a little piece of meat and only one fry and one line of sauces, etc., as you may know. And then 5 years ago, not so far away, probably 5, less than 10, many restaurateurs have understood that point, and many brands around the world have accepted and understood that we need to take Lebanese food to the next level. And this is where Michelin today has approved, has agreed, and has given the Bib Gourmand to many Lebanese restaurateurs around the world. And then comes street food. Street food is the oldest thing. That word street food is something new, all of you know about. But Lebanese have been eating street food for decades, for centuries. Knefe is street food, manakish is street food, falafel is street food. But we never said the word street food. So it is something we eat every single day, and again, never awarded. Nobody would give an award to a manouche. It's just something you eat, you buy for $1, and it has za'atar, and everyone eats a manouche every day. And then again, 5 years ago, lately, and then comes Salam, taking manouche to the next level. Mariana has done a very good job. So you're here for the opening of a simple Lebanese bakery, but it's way more than that. Just focus on one single point. We're today opening the redefinement, the re-enjoyment, the 2.0 of what a manouche is, taking a normal Lebanese staple to the next level. That manouche you've been having, or you're going to have within the next couple of months or weeks or days probably, because you won't last long before eating the hot one on an early morning, has been made in a $40,000 oven with the best flour out there, with amazing za'atar, with a technique never seen before. And that manouche has the Italian European class, the Lebanese soul and spirit. And that manouche is a different level than any other manouche ever. So accordingly, today we are, for the opening of Salam, and not for me, for Mariana, to introduce taking a Lebanese normal manouche or street food to the next level. And you are witnessing the manouche of the future, the manouche that will be awarded, the manouche that will put normal Lebanese street food on the next level. It starts with the manouche, continues with the za'atar croissant, and continues with hummus and awarma with salad on the bottom, and the falafel that is no garlic, no onions with a nice crunchiness, and lots of other things that we probably take for granted, or that you took as a normal Mediterranean diet, but it's way more than that. And this is the pride that made me come all the way from Dubai this morning, a 15-hour flight, to witness this amazing thing, even though jet lag is not hitting yet, because the world deserves to know how great our cuisine is, and this is the only thing we can market ourselves with. Definitely, you've seen Lebanon on the news and the wars and everything bad about us, but we're not war people. We are the inventors of a million things, of which definitely and proudly the greatest cuisine ever, and Salam is playing today a big role with Mariana introducing it to the world and to the Melbourne community. So welcome and mabruk.
Sometimes you're just here to be around good people. Mariana, you are celebrated and loved by so many people. So this is an incredible, afternoon, evening. And now I get to welcome somebody who became a familiar face and a familiar name throughout many homes across Australia. As soon as I heard that I got to meet this fantastic woman, I knew straight away. I'd seen her incredible work and stories featured on shows like 60 Minutes and across Channel 9 when I was growing up, and I thought, oh my gosh, I get to meet Moira Kelly AO, who is a great friend of Mariana's. A round of applause for Moira, everybody. Moira has a lot of fans and people who just, bow down to the incredible work and commitment that you have done throughout the community. But for those who don't know about Moira, she's an Australian humanitarian who has dedicated her life to helping those in need. And inspired by the video of Mother Teresa at the age of 7, Moira began a journey of service. At 20, working with Aboriginal children in Western Australia, and at 22, worked alongside Mother Teresa in Calcutta. And upon returning to Australia, supported AIDS sufferers and established a special unit for boys with behavioural challenges. Moira's global humanitarian efforts have taken her to Botswana, Johannesburg, New York, Romania, Bosnia and Albania, where she has managed refugee camps, soup kitchens, schools and AIDS hospitals as well, among other impactful initiatives. And Moira's extraordinary contributions have earned her numerous accolades, including an Order of Australia, very rightly so, Victorian of the Year, Australian of the Year, and an induction into the Victorian Honour Roll of Women. Can you please put your hands together one more time for Moira Kelly AO.
How lovely to be here. I think if we went around this room today, we'd probably all of us ask, how do we meet Mariana? We all have it in different areas of our life, family or friends or businesses or coincidence. And so mine one's a little bit different. Mine goes back to the Royal Children's Hospital, the old Royal Children's Hospital. So I've got a couple of funny stories with Mariana, because she ended up becoming a volunteer for me. But she used to run not a place like this, and not the brulee down the street, but it was actually the shop at the Royal Children's Hospital that had potato cakes and chips and dim sims, a little bit different to the brulee patisserie, but also it had like the groceries families could buy. So the reason I was there all the time is, a lot of you know, long before my 2 girls and my 2 boys came on the picture, was a lot of kids from Somalia, and I lived in Bosnia 4.5 years during the war, and so kids from Bosnia and Albanian children, the birthplace of Mother Teresa, brought them to Australia for surgeries, and those who needed ICU had to go to the Children's Hospital, and you had to raise the money for them because they're not Australian citizens. Otherwise, the children would go into private hospitals in Melbourne and the doctors would come out where it wouldn't cost us. So that's what happened. So I would be, it's a bit of a funny story, Mariana, because we've known her for so long. And every time she'd see me with some Somali kids or some Papua New Guinea kids, and then she'd see me with some white Albanian kids. And so I just assumed she knew what I did for my work, and well, not work, it's a vocation, we're all volunteers. And then my 2 boys from Iraq, my adopted boys, Ahmed Manuel, you've probably seen this year. Ahmed is a double amputee on the legs and in arms, but he got the silver medal for Australia again this year in the Paralympics. But probably the highlight this year is Emmanuel, who had the first foot-to-hand transfer done, and they were from the orphanage of Mother Teresa. I went to Baghdad and met them. It took me 2 years to get them out. And I used to think, we used to do these little singing competitions in Mornington and that, and I used to think, and he'd win. I'm thinking, Emmanuel, you're okay, you're not that great, but it's great, take the $50 voucher. But I never thought he was such a good singer, but everyone else did. So mothers like to keep their kids humble. But anyway, so Emmanuel will get on the competition I'd never heard of before called X Factor. So I thought, oh, okay, this will work. If I make him, if I don't get one more letter from this school, this yellow letter saying, okay, Emmanuel, if you get this once more from school, you're not doing your homework, you're going to get basically some time out in detention. I said, Emmanuel, I've had 3 in one term. I want no more. Well, Mum, there's this singing competition. I said, oh, on your life, I thought. So I thought this X Factor was like Mornington, down down at the beach. And so Emmanuel went for this competition, and he sang Imagine. That's what probably made him get the platform he has today. And it was quite a powerful story because he was a little kid from Iraq. He grew up in war but didn't really know war because he was too young to understand that and got him out for most of it. But he sang this very passionate song. Even Yoko Ono from America wrote to me. He became a viral sensation. But I didn't know at the time that X Factor was so big. So I just thought, oh my God, he's never going to go back to school. This did not work. I might not have got any more of these yellow letters, but he was now to keep him at school was really difficult. But he did, and who would have thought this year he was the opening act for Coldplay in Australia and New Zealand. So yeah, so I'm a very proud mum, and he's now in London, and he's finishing a documentary, but eventually he's going into movies starting this year. So look, as I say, none of my 2 boys got their singing or swimming from me, I must say. But they've come onto different journeys. So Mariana would see me walk in with the boys because I always bring them to visit the kids in hospital because we did lots of heart operations those days at the kids. And so I don't know what Mariana was thinking, but I arrived back, I was away for 2 weeks because I went to Bangladesh and I picked up 2 little girls. Those of you probably know, Trishna and Krishna, they're not babies anymore, they're big girls. But they were the craniopagus twins, which means they were joined to the head. Everything else was separate. They were just beautiful little girls. One was very sick, little one. The other one was quite well and like a little kid, like a little child, drinking out of a bottle, even all these normal things where Chrissy was quite sick. But I remember I kept them very protected, and I always had them in a pram with a cloth over so you couldn't see them. I had to get a pram from South Australia. There's not many prams that don't have 2 compartments, even that was a bit of a challenge. So the girls were joined to head, but they were just 2 little normal girls as well. For some reason, there's a big fascination with conjoined twins, but they were just 2 little girls who happened to share a head. But anyway, so I was with my dear friend, Sister Fran, this day at the Children's, and we're down the cafeteria. And so I walked up to Mariana's shop, and I said, oh, Moira, I haven't seen you. Where have you been? I said, Mariana, I've got 2 children. No, where, yeah, what? 2 babies. Mariana's going, God, I didn't think she was pregnant, really? Babies, yeah. I said, yeah, oh, they're just so beautiful. And what are they? Girls or boys? I got 2 girls, and they're just so beautiful. Mariana, no one gets to see these children, but you've been around for so long, and I get the odd coffee here and again, and you give me a free potato cake, and you've just got such a lovely heart. I want you to come down and meet them. I said, oh, yeah. So she was a bit blasé. I said, I'm only here for a little while. Come down and meet me. I've got Sister Fran down the dining room, and you can come and meet these. They're the most beautiful girls ever. So about 20 minutes later, she thought she's being just very polite. Had never heard about these twins coming to Melbourne. So she's thinking, oh, I just didn't know Moira was pregnant. She's had 2 twins. That was pretty quick pregnancy. And so she's walking down there, and I only found this story out last year. Last year she told me. She never told me the other side of the story. So I just assumed she knew who Trish and Chrissy were. And she's sitting, I said, oh, Fran, we're talking to Fran. And suddenly I said, come and meet them. And she goes in the front, no, go this side, or you won't be able to get to see them. Then go that side. And she said, oh, what do you mean by that? But anyway, so she went this side. Now this is Chrissy, and she's like, oh my God. And she's been very polite, but I didn't know that she was in shock because she's thinking she's going to see my 2 new children I've just given birth to. And I come around this side and meet the other one over here. This is Trishy, and Trishy's got great animation and laughing and pulling out. And she's going, oh, aren't they beautiful? They're just gorgeous. I said, Mary, do you love my babies? Oh, yeah, they're beautiful babies. And she said, and I said, I've got to go back to the shop. She couldn't handle being there much longer because she's in shock. And she's going, who the hell is this woman? And she can't have, who are the other kids? I just thought maybe they were her kids. I never really worked it out, but so she never really knew who I was. So she said, Moira, I went back and Googled you, and I nearly fell off the chair. She said she didn't have a clue about anything I did. So I always think it was one of the funniest stories because no one met the girls like that, and she actually had no idea they were conjoined twins. I still laugh at that story when I think of it. So anyway, so from that day, every time I come in, I got free coffees, by the way, after that. Every day I got free coffees. And so then she started volunteering. So when she wasn't working at the kids' hospital's takeaway, she would come up to the farm. And after a few weeks, she was so good and doing overnight. And I said, look, I've got to go to the kids. I've got one of the kids in ICU. I'll leave you here. You're okay. And then she said, oh, how many have we got kids tonight? Oh, there's about 18 children here tonight, but they'll be in bed at this time and then we'll be fine. She didn't realise all my kids get on well and they all say their grace. We all sit at the table. So 8 different nationalities, and we pray to Buddha, we pray to Allah, we pray to Jesus. Whoever's around that day, we pray to everyone. And the big kids would always make sure the little kids are in bed. I just worked. And Mariana was shocked, but she said, so who else is here? Just you, but the kids are great. Just ask them, they'll tell you how to run the place. So she started doing overnights and then going back to the children. So I always laugh at that. But one of the funny stories, they used to live in West Brunswick in a 2-bedroom house with their mum and 2 brothers. And I never knew she had a 2-bedroom flat. I never knew this, but I said, oh, Mariana, I'm a bit stuck. I've got to get these kids down to Melbourne. I won't be get there. Can you take up the kids and I'll pick them up for you tomorrow? Thinking she had a house with a few bedrooms. So she didn't say anything to me. But her poor mum and brothers, she just realised these 2 kids, oh, I had to take them. Mum, look, aren't they beautiful kids? Where are they going to sleep? So her poor brothers slept in the lounge room on the couch on the floor. And I think one of the kids wet his bed that night too, didn't they? That's right. So she wasn't very popular, but that's my introduction to Mariana. What a beautiful way to say how we met each other. But she ended up being a volunteer all these years and helping me at the farm and standing by my side when they're having going some big operations with kids. Then she disappeared and she went to Lebanon, the beautiful country of Lebanon. And she went with a company, it was Zuki, that's Zuki, opened Zuki there. And that's when her love and passion of cooking came along. And because obviously she didn't do too good with the potato cakes there in Melbourne at the Children's Hospital. And she loved it so much, as you know, she went to France and was sponsored to this wonderful course and came 3rd in one of these wonderful places that she learned at. So then she came back to Melbourne and I heard that she was here, because now and again you hear, I think she found a love in Lebanon, but she left the love and came back here, love of food. So then she said she got here and she started making these croissants in her mother's garage there at home, and I think they were selling so well that the mother said, we love you, Mariana, but you've got to move this out of the business and find somewhere. So during COVID she opened this, which is quite phenomenal that she did that. There's always a story of hard work and sweat and tears while we're enjoying our food and coffees. Someone has gone through a lot of work to get where they are. So she opened this place and was doing takeaways because people kept coming when you're opening. So then one day I got a word, I said, come down. So I went to Bob McGuire's to drop some food off there one day and we popped in here and I thought it was just a little coffee shop like the Children's Hospital, but then I saw this wonderful place and we tried the first croissant. So since then we rekindled because she came back to Australia and she's now on the board of my foundation, the Moira Kelly Creighton Hope Foundation. And she's, sometimes on Sundays I've got to go somewhere and there's no one among the kids, so I send the kids down to Brulé and she's babysitting them and cooking at the back there. So I just want to say it's been a wonderful journey, but what you see is this woman with an incredible gift to put these pastries together and how her mind thinks, even these incredible wraps she's thought the Lebanese way. I mean, it just takes an artist to do the things she does, and I think she's got a gift. We all have gifts. We've been blessed and sometimes we take them for granted, but we also don't underestimate the importance we are in other people's lives. Just when you're having a bad hair day and nothing's working out, just remember somewhere you've touched someone and you're loved and you love them. So in this case with Mariana, her gift of food and her wonderful gift of how you put these things, I don't know how you think these things must be in bed at night, and what she's put together here, I realised, wow, I said, all of us, isn't it funny in life we've all got gifts and we all wake up and the Lord gives us these wonderful gifts, and this is hers, I couldn't do what she does, and there's people I couldn't do what this guy does, but you couldn't probably think you couldn't do what I do. But it's a funny world we live in, but we all make the world it is because of who we are. But because of Mariana now, I said, and rekindle this friendship and her beautiful gift of not management, but cooking, I think. She's much better at cooking. She's a gifted person when it comes to, she's too nice to my kids, because one of my kids works here actually, Trishna, and she's too nice to her. I said, you've got to be more tough with her, like the rest of your staff. But who would ever think Trishna years later would be working here as a waitress at Brulé and Salam. So it's another journey. Those kids 20 years ago, and now you're seeing our little one come up here. So all I can say is I'm so proud of you, and everyone is, and your family. You couldn't have done it without your family. The first mentors in your life are always your parents and your family, your siblings. So on behalf of all of us here, I want to say congratulations. What an incredible achievement. Very proud to be a friend, but thank you for being part of the journey, and God bless you. Thanks very much. Thank you. Thank you.
How incredible to hear those stories from Moira. And also, I want you to check out the Moira Kelly Creating Hope Foundation as well. Get behind all of the incredible work that Moira continues to do throughout the community. Now, the community, of course, have gathered here today for one particular lady who we are just about to hear from, but to give you a little bit more about this wonderful woman born and raised in Lebanon. Mariana migrated out to Sydney, Australia at the age of 18. So many people take on that path, going overseas, and we are just the lucky ones to have been chosen by Mariana to come and make her way out here. And in 2007, moved to Melbourne because obviously there's better food here.
That's right.
I love every city in Australia, can I just say, but I just see Sydney as sort of like a model, you know, like it's very pretty.
It is, yes.
Yeah? But we've just got more heart and more culture and more food and better cuisine.
Yes. There's a few Sydney people here tonight.
I love Sydney, I visit often, but it just feels right that you've made your way to Melbourne here, Mariana, let me tell you, okay? At the age of 27, inspired by the story of Julia Child, Mariana decided to pursue her dream of becoming a chef and then travelled all the way to France to follow in the footsteps of her idol. And by 2014, Mariana had completed a comprehensive training program in cuisine and patisserie, and then, of course, graduating with a grand diploma in Paris, might I add. Unbelievable. Well done for finishing. Many people start a diploma, don't quite finish. Just have the HECS. Mariana then pursued another learning journey, and that was unbelievably incredible with the chef. I'm going to leave the name to you, Mariana, to say, because I don't want to butcher any names here, okay? I'll stay out of the kitchen for that one. Upon returning to Melbourne, embarked on an exploration and, of course, experimentation, as many chefs do, using the finest local produce, which you are guaranteed to be enjoying when you are here at Salam, and ultimately enabling her to forge her own path in the culinary scene, as we've already heard about. Brulee, which is just down the street and lives on, and tonight we celebrate Salam and, of course, Mariana. Please put your hands together.
First of all, I want to say welcome to everybody here. If you made it here, you're either an important person or special to me, one of those two. I want to thank my staff, because without them, I wouldn't be able to do anything. Thank you very much. It's been a really tough 3 weeks for us, because we opened another store and we're launching here, and my temper's just been going all over the place. So I'm sorry if I was rude to anyone, but thank you so much for everything. I could be rude sometimes. Secondly, I want to say welcome to Joe. He came all the way from Sydney. Joe Murphy, please, a round of applause. He's a person that's joining my venture in Brulee as a business partner. Anthony, ahla wa sahla, welcome. He's my friend, my mentor, and my brother. Moira Kelly, I don't know what to say. I mean, to hear your idol speaking about you, it's very emotional, but thank you. And not to forget my brulettes. Helen, please, a big round of applause for them. We've got Helen Josie, who just had a hip replacement, and she's here. She came on a wheelchair. Thank you very, very much. And Jack, thank you. She did prepare a speech for me, but I can't remember. Anyway, so I really hope you enjoyed the food. There's two people I want to thank, which is Michelle, who is our marketing coordinator from Fraser Marketing, and Daniela, my secret keeper. She's my everything. Thank you, Dani, for everything you do. So welcome and enjoy. Oh, my mom. My biggest supporter since 1986. Mama, I love you. Thank you for everything. And she's gonna sing for us tonight, so hang around and listen to her. Thank you.
Okay, well, I'm not going to stand in the way of entertainment for too much longer, but just again, a round of applause and mabruk to Mariana. A shout out to Anthony Rahayel for being here as well. Make sure you follow him on all of his social media platforms, TikTok, YouTube, subscribe. Moira Kelly AO. Please, please, please go and have a look at her foundation and see how you can support now. And we did hear a shout out to Mariana's mum, and for those who don't know, although I'm pretty sure most people in the room do know, that Mariana's mum, Carmel Fleifel, is a fantastic singer. And we are joined by Carmel and also some of her friends, Helen Vorath, Josie Simpson and Jack McLaren Williams. Now, they all met at the University of the Third Age in Port Phillip. Very famous and renowned, living locally and playing jazz music every Friday at Salam, something that you can all enjoy here from now on. And tonight they're going to be playing some Arabic music for us all that they have learnt recently, and Mariana's mum, Carmel, is going to be singing them for us all. Please put your hands together for them now. Yeah.